Hey YouTubers and fellow Disney fanatics. I'm making this video because I had come across another video on YouTube with somebody being interested in Disney's old water park River Country and not really having any information on it. I know there is quite a decent amount of information on River Country and what happened to it, but nothing is compiled in one place where you could find it all out. I mean, the information that I'm about to give you is from different YouTube videos, message boards, and just different things strewn about the internet, but nothing all in one spot. So I'm hoping to correct that. Um, River Country was Disney's first water park. It opened in 1976, and today is, if it was still open, would be by far the smallest of Disney's water attractions. Um, it shut down in 2001, and if you go onto a site like Wikipedia, it'll tell you the specific dates when it opened and shut down, but there's nothing about the shutdown itself. Now, it shut down in 2001 and never reopened, and it's been sitting rotting, decaying, and just generally falling apart for the past almost 11 years now. What happened was that the park shut down and got caught up in new laws that came out. Okay? And first, before I continue, let me tell you that I'm not a Disney employee. I don't have absolute firsthand information. So if you do and you know there's something that isn't correct, please post a response or a comment and let me know. This is just the stuff, like I said, that I've found out. So River Country shut down because of a new law that came into effect in 2001 to protect tourists and swimmers. And what it said basically was that no water entertainment stuff like Wet and Wild, River Country, Blizzard Beach, and anything where the public was in immersed in the water entertainment, like in a pool type setting or stuff like that, couldn't be from a standing body of water. In other words, they can't use the lake that they were using. It has to be a municipal, sanitized water source. And if you look at the old maps of River Country, all that area is the part where the barrel bridge was, and this is for people that have been there. I was there in the early 90s, and there with my family, and I remember doing all this stuff. So places like the barrel bridge, the spot where the old tire swing and cable ride were, and even the kiddie cove, they're basically connected to the lake. You know, it's not an enclosed area like the swimming pool. It's, with the exception of a float that was keeping whatever's in the lake out, it was a part of the lake. And that's where the problem was, because of all nowadays all you hear about is the dangerous bacteria that's living in all these standing pools of water down in Florida, and it's very dangerous. Different type of bacteria, especially amoeba, which if you get can cause violent vomiting, diarrhea. In some cases, if it's not treated, can kill you. So Disney had no other alternative but to shut the water park down. The only way, the even taking setting aside the fact that it's been degrading for 10 years, let's just say it closed yesterday. The only thing that Disney would be able to keep open would be the beach, where people could sit like you can around the other points on the lake, like at the Polynesian. You could sit on the beach, but you can't go in the water. The kiddie cove, the slides, all that would have to be shut down. So basically, all you'd be left with is that one pool and the beach area. So it's not in Disney's best interest to open these places up. The lake, the part where people were swimming, was filtered, not chlorinated. Basically, all the filtration was doing was keeping chunks of whatever out of the lake. It was keeping the water circulating, keeping it agitated so that nothing would grow and really contaminate the lake and turn it into a swamp. And if you look, I'll post a link under this video. If you look, there's a person who goes by the name of Tri-Circle Disney, who got into Disney's River Country and took all sorts of pictures and really shows the degradation that this park has sustained. Everything is falling apart. It's really creepy when you look at his pictures because it reminds you of something you'd see on the History Channel where it's this is life after people, because everything is exactly how they left it. It's like they closed on a Friday with every intention to open up Monday, but they never did. Everything is still in place. There's still the garbage cans. There's old tubes laying around. Everything is still in place. The picnic tables, nothing's gone. It's still there, rotting away, but it's still there. You can see how quickly nature just took back everything. The lake, if you can call it that, it's really not a lake anymore so much as it's a swamp, but everything is degrading. And the amount of degradation is really sad because you're just not used to that from Disney. You're used to pristine, everything's painted just about every other month, and everything's so immaculate in their parks. And to see something like River Country just sitting there and rotting is really disheartening. But you'll see when you scroll through his pictures the amount of vegetation, everything laying in the slides, the pool area where you had the two slides that came about halfway and then you just dropped into the pool. Upstream plunge, that's what they called it. The upstream plunge slides. The pool, which was basically 10 feet deep, if you look in the pictures you can see it, is empty because it's just been sitting and evaporating and stewing for close to 10 years now, and there's basically nothing left. These people have snuck onto the property, which I don't advise doing. It is their private property. They can and will nail you for trespassing, and if they want to, I don't think they would because it would speak low of Disney. They could hypothetically trespass you from their property, and that all their property. So not only would you get talked to, but you'd also be banned from Disney property. So it's not really worth it. These people have provided us with a good record of what's going on there, and as interesting as it might seem, I wouldn't want to take the risk because you know that you'd be that one person that they'd make an example of. But you can see in these pictures everything's still in place. And the creepy thing is that if you watch a couple of the videos, and I did find one, and I'll try and link that also underneath the photo book for it, is that I think it's a father and son, or maybe it's just two friends that snuck into River Country, and everything still works. The drinking fountains still work, the perimeter lighting and the walkway lighting still come on, and I think has to be the creepiest, eeriest thing is that at this particular point when they were walking around, there's still music playing in the park. That is creepy. To see everything degraded and disgusting as it is right now. It's just nature taking its course, but compared to how it was, it's horrible. And you couldn't imagine coming down the slide and landing in that. Ugh. But to see it, and then to hear this chipper, cheery, rodeo cowboy type music playing in the background, you're like, what the hell is going on around here? So I hope that answers people's questions. Like I said, all this information that I'm giving you is out there, but nothing is as concise and compacted as I just did here. So the basic points of River Country was that it opened in '76. It had a long life. It had a lot of people that have a lot of great pictures and memories from it. But due to new laws that were only put in place to protect people because nobody wants to get sick from being on vacation, that the park was basically forced to shut down. due to these new regulations. It was shut down because because a major part of the park is part of the lake, and it's not chlorinated. That's the problem. Is that it's not chlorinated. It's not killing these amoeba, these harmful bacteria in the lake that could make people violently sick. Um, I know, I'm probably sure that when Disney realized that these pictures got out, they were a little peeved, to say the least, because nobody wants that image of Disney portrayed. And this has been picked up by the media and is running rampant through internet circles, these different pictures. But you can't underestimate people's desire to see this kind of stuff. If Disney doesn't want people looking at it, they should have demolished it. I mean, the park closed in 2001, and in 2005, Disney made a statement saying that this park wouldn't reopen, that it closed permanently. So get rid of it. If you leave it there, there's always going to be that curious person, okay, and I'm one of them, that would go there to see what's going on. There's just something about it that draws me to it. And I know there's a couple people out there that are just like me, that have this itch, that just want to get in. You know, we don't want to do anything. We just want to get in there and look around. Um, but you can't be surprised. Now, since then, fences have gone up, which you can see on YouTube. If you search for river country, people stick their hands behind the fence and they can see stuff. I think more so it's safety, so nobody falls into one of these pools and hurts themselves, more so than people seeing it because it's out there. Um, but that's the story behind river country. From what I've heard, there is construction going on. River country, for those of you who hold this idea, river country will never reopen. It will never reopen as what it was, because it can't. The amount of money that it would take Disney to retrofit the park, to bring everything up to code, would be a phenomenal amount of money, and they would never do it. What I have heard is that they're looking to demolish River Country in favor of expanding Camp Wilderness, Fort Wilderness. They want to turn River Country into a Disney Vacation Club site for the campground, which, why not? Um, but that's what I heard. There's been recent activity where people have seen bulldozers and they're ripping up the land. So it's probably in the works, especially after Disney saw what people were doing, taking pictures of it. I think now more than ever, if they were thinking of doing something, they're really thinking of doing something, because they know that it's a liability sitting there. So that's the story. If you have any questions, if there's something that I said that should be included, let me know, because I'm real interested in this stuff too. If there's anything you want more information on, ask. If I have it, I will be more than happy to email you or post a video response to this. But like I said, unless somebody wants more information about something, this is probably going to be my last video. It was just like a public service to get the information out there in a form that everybody would appreciate, so you wouldn't have to go through pages and pages of people posting various stuff. Okay? Take care, everybody. If there's anything you want to know, just drop me a line. Bye-bye.